the severity of the offenses. Okay. So Jesus, we will see you in 10 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Amber.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hello, Amber. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. So you've been here for 10 days. So that means you have to see a judge and I have to decide whether to keep you or to release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. So Mike, are you here?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right. So for some reason, I never got the progress report for the child. This is the only one I'm missing. Do you mind kind of catching me up to speed?
Yeah, Your Honor. She originally was brought in on 10/9/22 for failure to ID. Police were dispatched to a club on Campus Drive regarding 3 intoxicated females refusing to leave. Amber was one of them. They gave fake names. They went downtown and figured out who she was at before they brought her to us. She's in CPS care. She ran from a placement in the Fort Behavioral Health. We got her on that runaway case. Judge Porter released her. At that time, she was placed in Houston. She ran from there. On 12/22, a DTA was issued by Judge Porter. She was found in Galveston County. We went down and picked her up on January 8th. And she's sitting here and she is in CPS care. The worker is Miss Allison, Patricia Allison. She's on the call.
Okay. All right. Thank you, CPS, for being here. So this is one of our dual status cases. Is there a pending CPS case with her?
Your Honor, I do not know that.
Oh, hi, Julie.
Hi. Yes, we do have a dual status case.
Okay. So right now, is that with termination or without termination?
I believe it was without termination, Your Honor.
So who's here from CPS?
So, Your Honor,
Oh,
I'd like to also add, so her biological mother is here as well as
okay.
fictive kin in addition to OCOK.
All right. Who's biological mother?
Me, sir.
All right. Hello, Miss Cook. And then fictive kin,
Hello.
who's that?
That would be me, sir.
Okay, great. So obviously I have concerns about Amber and her safety and everything. So trying to figure out, I mean, she's run for placements and I'm kind of leaning on Ms. Jacobson and CPS to chime in on this one. Like, what can we do with Amber for her to be safe and not run off? Like, does she, at this point, we need a secure facility?
We actually do. My name is Patricia with I'm her caseworker. And
Okay.
yes, we do need a secure placement for her. I actually spoke with her mother, Selena, this morning. She's willing to care for her, but the agency concern is that her last use for methamphetamine was a couple of months ago. Ms. Wood also stated that she would be willing to take Amber as well, but also there's concerns with her home as well. So to keep her from, Amber has ran from Ms. Wood as well. And Ms. Wood grandson is getting ready to be released from Brownwood this month, which he also has a history as well. So that's our concern. If she's released and placed back in their care, either care, we're going to still have the same issues.
Your Honor, if I may, she's also scheduled for a SANE exam next week.
It's taking a week to do a SANE exam?
Just them finding time to get her in.
Okay, I understand. The weather doesn't help either.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Amber. I mean, the level of offense you're looking at is a misdemeanor, right? It's not that serious. And I don't like the idea that the juvenile court is being involved in your life. But the way the law in Texas works is just like when CPS kind of gets their clause in your case, you have to go through a process for them to let go. And then when they let go, they let go. Kind of works with juvenile too, right? So now that the juvenile justice system kind of has its clause in your case, you're going to have to do your part to get us out of your life so that you go back to living your own life the way you think is best, as long as it's healthy, okay? Otherwise, we all get involved again. So I'm really worried about you running off from a placement and ending up in a different city that we have to bring you back here. You're not giving me a whole lot to trust you, okay? So use this opportunity here. Mr. Spence, what's her behavior level right now?
She's been on 1-0 since fast as she could get here. So she's done really well in detention.
So Amber, here's the deal, right? That means you can, right? That means you can follow the rules. That means you're able to. There are kids here who just can't because they have mental health issues or whatever, but you can. All right. Well, Julie, are you the attorney on both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, so I need to detain her at least so we can get through the exam. And then after that, let's really look at something. Amber, I don't think this is healthy for you, but you understand what kind of keeps on bringing you back here, right? Your poor decisions, right? So I just need, when you get out of here, and you will get out of here, I just need you to make better decisions to stay out of here, okay? All right. So we'll review this, Julie. Like my big thing, I'm looking at two things. One is finish the exam that we need. I'm not gonna let her go until that's done. And the second issue is like we need to find a place for her. How old is she, Mike?
She's 16. She'll be 17, and she's 16 in 10 months.
Okay. Yeah, so she's turning 17 soon. Like we're not really helping her. Like OCOK and CPS, ideally this is the stage we're starting to work looking at transition, right? To independent living. And we're not there. And I get it. I'm not blaming you guys. Amber has a part of this process too, and she needs to own it. A lot of people are responsible, but let's kind of redirect our focus and not forget that's the stage that we need to start thinking about right now as a transition phase. It is what it is. Like we can't create something new. So if I just need to remind you, kind of redirect our focus. It's not a right now thing, but we're just thinking about, 14 months away, where are we going to be? Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Amber, do you have any questions for me?
Yes.
Okay. What do you got?
Well, Judge Porter, he gave them 2 weeks to find me a placement, and I just there's people who want me, but CPS keeps continuing to they're not helping me with anything at all.
All right. So let me tell you where I'm coming from as a judge on this. Okay. I can hear the frustration in your voice, and I'm not going to say you're wrong, mostly because I don't know. Okay. I'm not going to say you're right either. Okay. What I can say is, based on what I know, you've made some decisions along the way that really make it difficult for CPS to do their job. Okay. Because when you look at different places, different programs, different placements, what they look for is they have these check boxes. And once that checkbox is there that you ran away from a placement, a lot of them won't ever take you, right? And so it's your past decisions that are catching up with you that are limiting the options for CPS. Now, I'm not telling you CPS is doing their job perfectly, right? God knows no government agency, including this court, does its job perfectly. Okay, that's just the way government works. But you have to understand, and their job, you have made their job a little bit harder, if that makes sense. And so things won't move as fast as we would all like them to be. Okay. So please, you keeping a level 1O back there is helping. It doesn't fix everything, but it's helping. Okay. And you just need to be consistent with that. And just, I want to let you know, you have my word. I want you out of here as soon as possible. I just need to do it in a place where I'm comfortable, because I'm not going to release you if I think you're just going to run away and end up in Galveston again. Okay. Or Houston or San Antonio or Austin or any place else. I have to be confident that if I release you, you're going to be where you're supposed to be, where I approve for you to be. Does that understand? I'm not asking you to like it, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right, but either way, I'm not releasing you because we do need to do the exam. But after that, I want to review this and figure out what we're going to do. Okay. Now, Miss Allison, I'm letting you know once you have a little bit of grace because of the exam, but I'm
Yeah.
not forgetting what Judge Porter told y'all is that y'all need to come up with a plan. This weather or Cook Children's nursing schedule is really what's buying you the extra time. It's not, don't think it's my good grace because it's not. I fully expect y'all to have an answer whenever this exam is done. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Terrence.
Yes, sir.
All right, Terrence. All right, Terrence. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Law says when a child's been for 10 days that you need to see a judge, and the judge has to decide whether you remain in custody or released into community. If I keep you in custody, the law says you must see a judge every 10 days while you were here. You've been here for 2 weeks. You're almost 15 years old. Do we have a parent here?
No, Judge, we weren't able to get a hold of his
Okay.
guardian.
All right, thank you. You've had priors for ag assault deadly weapon, which you received deferred prosecution, assault family violence, deferred prosecution. January 15th, dispatch of domestic, talked with the mom. She confronted you about bringing drugs into the house. Then she said you hit her about 3 times in the face, knocked her down, got on top of her, hit her multiple times again. She was able to kick you off to get away. She had a swollen left eye, swollen above the left eye, and a busted lip. You gave the same account as the victim, so arrest and brought over here. Tested positive for marijuana on the next day. All right, so have we figured out if there's other parent, fictive kin, anybody else?
No, actually, mom is adoptive mom.
Okay. I remember this one.
Yes, Your Honor, and she wasn't able to take him back at the last detention hearing was our issue.
Yeah. Are there behavioral needs that we're missing on this child?
Well, with his previous terms of DVP, Judge, he completed FPP, so there was some mental health issues at that point that were addressed. And I think again, this is Juan's case, but I believe that mom said she was following up after his supervision ended.
Right. Okay. Is he on medication right now back there?
That I did not check, Judge. I'm sorry.
Tony, do you mind if I'm asking?
No, sir, that's fine.
All right, Terrence, you ever been on prescription for mental health stuff?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you know what you're diagnosed with?
No, sir.
No? All right. Do you remember where you went to the doctor? Was it a hospital or just a private clinic?
I think it was the hospital.
Hospital? All right. Do you remember which hospital?
Cook's Children.
I'm sorry?
Cook's Children.
Cook Children's. Okay. Daniel, can we work with that?
Yes, I'm looking at Juan's notes, Judge. It looks like he's been diagnosed with ADHD and DMDD,
Okay.
but he was not currently receiving any medication at the time of this offense.
Okay. All right. So I noticed his behavior level just hit 1.0 today. So do we know what happened?
Yes, he's had a couple issues in detention regarding following instructions. Got a game restriction, which is what threw him to a U, so he had to work his way back up.
Okay.
But nothing assaultive.
Right. Okay. Good. You said ADHD. Did you say DMDD?
Yes, Judge.
And that's why I was asking if maybe they would do a psychological on the young man, Your Honor.
I don't see a need for a psychological, but I am ordering a psychiatric.
Okay, just wanted somebody to be able to look and make sure we're doing the right things for him, a professional.
Right. Especially if he has a past diagnosis and a prescription, then I'm concerned that he needs to be on medication. Or if not, Terrence, then good. But I want a doctor to check you out. All right, so Terrence, I hope you understand the situation I'm in. What I have is, I have you, a kid that's in my detention facility, and I have to decide whether to release you or keep you here. But part of my problem is I just can't open the door and let a 14-year-old out on the street. Right? And that wouldn't be responsible of me. So without your mom here, it makes it difficult. At a certain point, I will order CPS to come and take you. if your mom will not show up. But right now, I want to make sure you see a mental health doctor. So I'm ordering a psychiatric evaluation. That's a psychiatrist that will come in here, evaluate you, decide whether or not you need a prescription or not. And then if he does, then make sure you take it. All right. If he says you don't, then that's fine too. And we'll start looking at other options. But I want to do this in the meantime to make sure that if you need a prescription, that you receive it and that you receive the medication and that it's working. Is that fair enough?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you, Terrence. All right. So, Walter, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing, and Raymond Daniel is your attorney. And hello, Mr. Spence. All right. So, January 15th, Grand Prairie Police dispatched a domestic, talked with grandmother who was sitting in the computer in the living room, got in an argument with you, said you were being disrespectful and calling her names. She went over, slapped you with an open hand to discipline you about 7 to 8 times. So he stood up, began hitting her in the head and upper body. She fell to the ground, kept on hitting her until mom pulled you off. Victim said it caused pain to her elbow, shoulder, back, and head. You admitted to the police that you assaulted her, and you showed them how you hit her. Arrested, brought over here. Mom says that you're failing all your classes due to skipping, diagnosed with ADHD and DMDD, history of runaway, smokes weed on a regular basis. So do we have mom here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Hello, Ms. Strickland. Okay,
Hello.
so did he have a prescription for his medication?
He had a prescription in 2021, but he stopped taking it, so I stopped filling it.
Okay, so he's not on medication right now then?
No.
Okay. How quickly can you get an appointment? Do you have insurance?
Okay. Oh, yeah. So at our last visit that I came to see him, we had a good talk, and he asked me to call the doctor to get him an appointment to get back on his meds.
So he recognizes that he may need psychiatric help?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I have to call them back again because I called and left a message Monday and they haven't called me back. So I put a reminder on my phone to give them a call today to get him an appointment, you know.
No, they're probably not open today.
Yeah. So I'm like, plus I don't know when he'll be home. So I don't want to like call and cancel, but he expressed to me that he wanted to get back on his meds.
Okay.
So I feel that's a step in the right direction. I also asked him if he felt like, you know, he needed a counselor, and he doesn't feel like he's not really comfortable speaking to a stranger about his feelings, but he said that he would be open to talking to me about it. He's had some significant, he's had a significant loss, and so have I. And so he feels like I can relate to how he's feeling. And I told him as long as he keeps talking to me, you know, I'll be open to letting him not do like the outside counseling as long as he takes his meds and is open and honest with me.
As long as he's behaving appropriately, why go see a doctor, right?
Yeah.
And
So
that's my take too.
Your Honor,
So, yes.
we did do a psychiatric evaluation on him. Dr. D saw him last week, and he determined that he was not in need of medication, that he needed family and therapy.
That's the
Dr. D,
psychiatrist?
yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, that doesn't sound bad then.
yeah,
Mom, did you hear that?
I did.
Okay, so let me tell you, as the juvenile judge for Tarrant County, my perspective on this. I believe in parental rights. I believe that the parent is the one by default who makes the best medical decisions for their child. It's only when a parent fails to do it that I feel like the government, like the judge, should get involved. Okay, so it seems like you're on the ball. You're having this honest conversation with your son. I guess me or one of my associate judges ordered the psychiatric evaluation before. Doctor has his recommendation. You are absolutely welcome to second opinion. I'm not going to fault you for going back and seeing a doctor, or if you decide that your son doesn't need it, I respect that. But if your son's getting in trouble like this, then you're kind of judged in hindsight.
Yeah.
So just so you know, if something like this happens again and you're not seeing psychiatric help, you're kind of inviting me through the door, right? And so I just want to lay this all out for you so you understand where I'm coming from. So right now I'm seeing that he's level 1 outstanding, and Mike, it looks like he got to 1 outstanding pretty much right away.
Yeah, Your Honor, he hasn't had any infractions since he's been
Okay.
here.
So it seems like he's behaving well back here, that he's respectful with you. He's having honest conversations with you, Ms. Strickland. So I'm pretty much comfortable releasing him. My only concern now is, do you live with the grandmother?
Yes, I just got the call yesterday. I got approved for an apartment. So we will be moving weather pending.
Okay,
Yeah,
so what time frame are we talking about?
Well, I go sign my lease. Well, I'm supposed to sign it today. So, but soon, as soon as the weather allows me to get over there to sign my lease and get the keys, we'll be moving. So it's all about the weather right now.
Literally, that could be Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I know the office is closed today.
Right.
I've been getting, emails from every business I associate with that they're closed today. A lot of places are closed tomorrow too. So I'll have to wait for that email to come.
I get that. Look, my concern right now is having Walter live in the same home as grandmother, especially as the victim of this offense.
Yes.
Especially if grandma's not here to tell me that she thinks it's a one-off and she's not concerned about her safety. All right.
I can ask her.
Is she right there?
She's in the next room.
Well, let's walk over there.
All right.
Well, is she presentable? Well, hold on, Ms. Strickland. Is she presentable?
I'm gonna mute and call and go in there and see if
Okay.
she's available.
Okay, and presentable.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me one moment. I'll be right back.
Your Honor, for your information, the place that they're residing in right now is a 1-bedroom apartment. So they're kind of on top of each other.
Sure. Okay. Well, hello, Grandma.
Hi. I'm
Hi, are
probably
you
looking
Walter's
like one
grandmother?
now.
I'm sorry?
I said I'm probably looking like one now.
Oh, no, you look great. So are you
That's
Walter's
not a bad
grandmother?
thing.
Yeah. Are you Walter's grandmother?
Am I working?
Walter's grandmother.
Oh, am I? Deuce? Yes.
Okay, good. Deuce. All right. So here's my question. It seems like your daughter and I, we've been talking, we kind of have a plan for Walter and for your daughter. It seems like I'm satisfied that it'll be okay to release him, except you're the victim of the offense and he would be returning to your home. Are you concerned, if I was to release Walter or Deuce, are you concerned about your safety?
No.
No? Okay. It looks like your daughter has a plan to move out and find a different living arrangement.
Yes.
And so it may be a very short term, or it could take a little longer, but I want to hear from you that you're not worried about your safety. Is that correct?
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Thank you very much for
Yes.
coming out into court.
Okay.
All right. So Walter,
Yes, sir.
is what good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from bad decisions. All right. So I'm gonna leave that there. I am going to release you, but a lot of me releasing you has to do with the honest conversations you're having with your mom. Okay. Keep on having honest conversations with her, because she's your mom. You're stuck with her as your mom forever. And your mom may not always tell you what you want to hear. She may not always be fun, but tell me when she's been wrong.
Never.
Right. And that's the problem with moms, is they do things that aren't fun, but they're not wrong. And so I'm going to release you to her, but you have to understand, I'm a little bit concerned about putting you in the same home as your grandma, right? And so please don't do anything to make me regret my decision. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's get you out of here. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, and
Judge, may I
if
ask a question of you real quick? Oh,
Yes, sir.
are there any conditions you want to put on him?
Well, I was actually about to go over that. I forgot.
Okay.
So if the doctor prescribes you medication and your mom thinks you should take it, you need to take it. All right, Walter. If you don't like the way the medication makes you feel, then it's not your decision not to take it. That's your mom's decision with the advice of a doctor. Okay. So she makes the decisions, but she needs to get the medical advice. She can disagree with advice, but she needs to get the advice. The doctor can give their opinion, but it's your mom's call. If you don't like the way it makes you feel, ask your mom to go back to the doctor. He can adjust the prescription. Okay.
Yes,
But
sir.
it's not your call to stop taking it. If I find out you're not taking it, then, I may have to end up bringing you back here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Judge,
Other than that,
if you
I don't
found out
need-
he's using drugs, you'll bring him back too, won't you?
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So Walter, don't answer my question. I mean, don't even tell me if you are or aren't. Look, people who take psychotropic medication for mental health issues, right? You have to understand they can't smoke weed. They can't take street drugs. The reason why, all drugs interact with other drugs, and that will affect the way your doctor's prescription works on you. All right. That's just the way God made you. That's what you have in life. People with mental health prescriptions cannot smoke weed. All right. Otherwise, it will make your prescription work too much or not enough. And it will cause problems and you'll end up back here at Kimbo. All right. So, man, just don't put yourself in that spot. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Dwayland.
Sir.
So you're on probation for unauthorized use of motor vehicle and referred Fort Worth PD. So police notified of a homicide, teenage male been shot while sitting in the passenger seat. Driver directed officers to the passenger side where the victim shot in the neck. They were transported to JPS, passenger deceased. Surveillance videos from the area. Both victims went to parking lot. Four black male suspects, 3 wearing hoodies. 4th walked to the car, conversation. Vehicle moved to a different area. It looked like a transaction. Then victims pulled away at a high rate of speed. Looked like 2 black males produced firearms, began shooting at the vehicle. One appeared to be firing a rifle, second firing a handgun, which matched the gun casings. Police met. You admitted going with the other 3 people for robbery. Admitted to possessing a Glock pistol. You said the other people are the one that shot and took the money. And then you admitted shooting about 10 times. Oh, I'm sorry. During the struggle, one of the suspects fired at the victim with the rifle, and you admitted shooting the pistol about 10 times. All right. Surveillance footage confirms that fired at the vehicle while going away. You get a warrant for capital murder. Arrested, brought over here. Tested positive for THC when you were brought in while you're on probation. All right, well. Ms. Washington?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you tell me why he's level 3?
Yes, he threatening peers. He made a threat to staff, talking, horse playing, not following instructions.
Do we have a parent here?
Yes, Your Honor. Demorian Holloman is the brother
Okay.
that's should be on Zoom here
All
somewhere.
right. Hello, Mr. Holloman.
Bro, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just kind of saddened by a lot of this stuff.
He does have a certification that's scheduled for the 17th.
Right. All right, Dwayland. Maybe you know this or not, but when you get to 180 days here, I really start questioning why you remain in custody. All right. My goal is, unlike the adult system where a trial can take years to finally get to a trial here in Tarrant County, in the juvenile system, my goal is to have every case tried within 6 months. That's just my goal. I think for kids in juvenile cases, I think that's important to get a quick resolution to your case. And that's why when a trial doesn't happen in 6 months, I tend to find ways to release a child because I don't think it's right for a kid to grow up in our detention facility. The problem is when you're level 3, that tells me that you cannot follow the basic rules. If I was to release you, you would likely be threatening to other people. You wouldn't be following instructions. You would be getting in conflicts. And I can't do that. Now, that's my responsibility as a judge to prevent that from happening. All right. So I am detaining you. I'm letting you know that it's not a just get to level 1 and I release you. It's the kids. And even for capital murder, I released one from detention just, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. Even for capital murder, where if you're showing me great behavior back there, I don't care what the offense is, like I can't justify keeping you. But as long as you're level 3, that tells me the right decision is to detain you. So please, please make your situation better. Okay.
That's
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your
Yes.
Honor.
Okay. Hello, Frederica.
Hello.
All right. So I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. That angle's really starting to mess with me. Okay. All right. So you're 15. I've never been here before. Do we have a parent here?
Yes.
All right. Hello.
The
Mr.
guardian.
McDonald. All right. So January 28th, about 9 o'clock, Fort Worth PD responded to a domestic. We got there. Let's see. Complainant told officers she'd been assaulted by her niece. I'm assuming that's you, Miss McDonald?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Explain that you're the guardian. Told Frederica to get off her phone, go to her room, went to the closet, locked herself in it. She told you to get out of the closet. Argument, try to force you to sit. When did so, you started swinging at your hand, hitting her multiple times, scratching her, causing pain. Currently in 10th grade, and it says you skip class all the time, failing your classes, behavior issues at school, including fighting on the bus. Diagnosed with anxiety, but refused to take medication. We're in counseling, but you wouldn't show up to your virtual counseling sessions. And it says you smoke weed daily. So what is she? She was only diagnosed with anxiety and that's it?
Yes, sir. She was just anxiety, nothing else.
Okay. When's the last time she saw the doctor?
Less than she said.
She went in December for an evaluation.
So just this past December?
Yes, sir.
And then did they update her prescription?
No, sir. And she just went to see MHMR 2 weeks ago. They supposed to put a plan in place, deciding if they're gonna put her back on medication and whatever treatment plan that they're gonna put her on. She has an appointment scheduled for around February the 20th of this year.
So this is a misdemeanor level offense, right? So this is not like capital murder. There are all kinds of other things that generally I'm more worried about in our detention facility. But I will tell you, one of my concerns right now is that there's a pattern of behavior that you're reporting, Ms. McDonald, that I'm very concerned about.
Yes, sir.
It seems like this is not an isolated one-off incident, that there's something bigger going on that I'm not aware of, that you and Frederica are. At this point, what I want to do is I'm going to detain you, okay? And the reason why is I want to see how you do here under our rules and under our supervision. If you can show me that you can be level 1 outstanding and probably hold it for 3 days, that tells me that you are able to follow the rules, okay? That means you're following instructions, you're participating in the program, which means going to school, right? You're not being disrespectful, you're not getting in conflict with peers, all these things that it takes to get to level 1.0 that you're doing. Ms. McDonald, what that tells me is she has the ability to do well under your supervision. She's just choosing not to. And then that actually answers some questions for us, right? Because deep down inside, we're wondering, is she able to, and she's just not doing it, or is she just unable to follow the rules? So at least this will answer the question for us, okay? At that point, I want to reassess this. Ms. McDonald, what I'm probably going to do at that point is ask you to take possession of her, and we'll see how is it at home. And if she can be respectful and follow the rules, then hey, that's all we want from Frederica. If she's not, then we may have to take a different step and go in a different direction. I don't want any conflict. Frederica, you understand that it's not your phone, it's her phone, right? It's like you don't get to make these decisions. In fact, as a minor, even if you got a job, that's not your paycheck, that's her paycheck. She's just letting you keep it. Okay. So when she says no phone, that just means no phone. You don't get a phone back here, right? This all makes sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're almost right now. Do you have any write-ups so far?
No, sir.
No, okay. So you should make level 1.0 tomorrow. Then in theory, I think level on Monday. Ms. McDonald, are you, I presume that to be your husband, are y'all available to come up to court on Monday for our detention hearings?
What time?
It'll be at 1:30.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, Frederica, on Monday, if you're a level 1 outstanding, I'm okay releasing you. Okay, that's the deal. But you understand, you got to be that all the things for your level 1.0, the do not associate, all the other rules, you got to follow that to your aunt and your uncle there. If you don't, then all they have to do is they have to call us, and I'll just sign another warrant for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But so I'm kind of giving you the chance to prove that you don't need to be here. Ms. McDonald, does that sound reasonable to you?
I just don't think Frederica's gonna follow any rules, because Frederica states it every time I tell her to do something, she does not want to be here. So
Right.
I just believe that she's just gonna continue not to follow the rules. She's not going to go to school, and she's gonna
Sure.
continue getting hot because she does not want to follow me and my husband's rules.
So has she been here before? This is
No,
her
she
first time
hasn't.
here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it could be an eye-opening experience, but what I want to tell you, Ms. McDonald, is that I would not bet against you. Like if you ask me, I've been doing this for a little while, and I will tell you, you are probably right. You know that child way better than I do, all right? What I'm asking you to do is to give me a chance, because I need to go through a process on my own, and I have to understand exactly what I'm dealing with. A lot of juvenile justice law is I have to kind of make the mental check boxes of like, okay, we tried this, we go to this, we tried this, we go to this, kind of like a flow chart. And so I'm just at the very beginning of the flow chart. Now you have been checking boxes for years, right? And I get that, but I'm asking you to be patient with me. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking you to give me a chance and maybe give Frederica a chance, because sometimes coming to our detention facility is a life-changing experience. And a lot of times with these kids, we never see them again. Like this is the moment that they started making better decisions, right? Things got very real for them. What I will say is, because I will not be the judge doing detention hearings on Monday, I'll be in a jury trial. So it will be one of my associate judges that works for me, but we'll have a note to release her. And in fact, actually, Ms. Irwin.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we don't even have to put her on the detention docket. Monday morning, if she is level 1 outstanding, you can just call Ms. McDonald or her husband to come pick her up, and one of the judges will sign the release order. Okay. So
Can I ask or make a suggestion?
yes.
So it doesn't appear that she was medicated compliant when she was taking her medication, but Frederica told me last summer she did take it, but didn't refill it. So I just want Frederica to understand, if the doctor does prescribe medication, that she needs to take it.
And if you don't like the way it makes you feel, you have to go back to the doctor, and the doctor changes it. Okay. It's not your call to make, not at 15 years old. You don't get to make those decisions. Okay. Now, so Ms. Irwin, yeah, if she's level 1 Monday morning, when you get to work, just come to one of the judges, associate judges, and we'll sign the release order. Stephanie will stamp my signature for you. And so that way, Ms. McDonald, you or husband can come at your convenience. It doesn't have to be at 1:30, and you don't have to sit through a detention hearing. Okay. So, but that's only if she's level 1. If she's not, then she doesn't get out, and we'll just wait. Now, Ms. McDonald, I will say, if Frederica is causing problems, please do not escalate things. Please just notify Ms. Irwin that Frederica is causing problems, being disrespectful, not following the rules, skipping school, smoking weed, any of those things. And we'll just sign a warrant and bring her back here. Like, I don't want any conflict. I don't need an escalation. If she does the same thing, refuses to give her the phone and lock herself in the closet, You know what? That's her decision. That's what gets her back to Kimbo. Okay, this needs to be a very non-confrontational, non-adversarial process. She either follows the rules and you give her grace, or she doesn't, and well, she can be under my grace here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Frederica, do you understand? This is not, there's no argument about this. Either do what you're supposed to do and stay at home, or you don't, you stay here. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. You can talk to other girls back there or the JPD security staff, and they'll let you know, like, I'll tell you bad news, but I'm not gonna lie to you. If I tell you something, it's good as gold. You can trust me that I'm gonna follow through with it. Okay, I will bring you back here in a heartbeat. Okay? All right, thank you. All right, Roger, man, this is a detention hearing. When a child's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you must see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Masick has been appointed as your attorney. Do we have a parent here?
Your Honor, it would be OCOK, Mr. Godfrey Tippett, I think is on.
Okay. Mr. Godfrey Tippett?
Yes.
I'm here. Okay, good. All right. So.
And Your Honor, I think his supervisor is in the waiting room. She
was there for a while, but I think she left.
Okay.
What's her name?
Her name is Tiffany Ketch.
There is a Tiffany in the waiting room. I will add. Well, you have probation for evading arrest. Injury to a child, elderly, or disabled person, which was probation transferred out. Where was it transferred to? Ms.
Your
Thomas?
Honor, he when he was placed on probation in April, he went to live with a cousin in Brazos County.
Okay.
And we did request interim supervision from Brazos County.
Okay. Who was the victim on that?
On the injury to a child?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
It is a younger brother,
Younger brother. All right.
a 9-year-old.
9-year-old. What about the assault family violences? Are those same victim?
That is another brother that was 11 years old at the time.
Okay. All right. So he's on probation in Brazos County. How did he end up back in Tarrant County?
So he went to live with a cousin. Mom, back in April, stated concerns with him coming to the home. So there was a cousin that resided in Brazos County that agreed to take him.
Okay.
He did live with a cousin, but ended up getting arrested on 2 separate occasions and is currently pending 4 offenses in Brazos County right now.
Do you know if they want to do adjudication transfer dispo, or they can handle everything there?
We tried, Your Honor, to have them do that before we went to get him, but they insisted that we come and pick him up on the DTA. So he was referred in custody on the DTA that was issued back in November.
So they have the pending case and they don't want to do anything.
Yes. Yes.
You know, next time I see that judge at a conference, I'll make fun of him. Give him a hard time. All right. Okay. By the way, I will JPD in Tarrant County. Please do not ever do that to a different county, because I don't want a judge saying that to me. All right. So, all right. So the Millwood. So the Millwood placement was from us, or the family placement in Millwood?
So he was released on, Your Honor, he is also pending a UUMV with us.
Okay.
He was released into and ordered into CPS's custody by Judge Porter on January 3rd. So from there, he went to Millwood Hospital, Hidden Cove, to a RTC in Arlington, got into a physical altercation at school, which resulted in him being transported to Millwood Hospital. And this is where the present offense took place.
All right. So I guess that Millwood got upset since you would not be discharged, since OCOK didn't place for you to go. So they said, you guys stay there one more day, got upset, started breaking things, went after a nurse. Victim grabbed you from behind, started elbowing him, hitting him in the forehead, started throwing punches at the nurse and nearby witnesses. Another witness reported the same thing. Staff got you in the hallway, you get to pace, trying to calm yourself down. Police got there, you were calm, because you got upset that you had to stay in Millwood for another day. Punched through a safety glass, through a computer monitor, which that they want to press charges. What is he diagnosed with?
Your Honor, there was a psychiatric eval done on him in detention back in February of last year, and I think that's the most recent, and it was for DMDD.
OCOK is here, right?
Yes.
All right, so y'all tell me, what plan did y'all have? Y'all needed another day?
Yes, what happened was, I had been in contact with Miss McIntyre for, I think Sunday. Just let him know, because he was, he was kind of anxious to get out, and I still reminded him, hey, it's gonna take a time.
So, Mr. Godfrey, hold on a second. Two things. One, we try not to use last names.
I'm sorry.
Juvenile proceedings, that's right. And second, the question was, y'all wanted another day. What was the plan if you had that extra day?
We was waiting on intake to find a placement.
Okay. So now, did intake tell you they have a place, you just need another day, or was it they didn't know and you were just going day by day until they found out?
Correct. Going my day by day till they found out.
Okay. And you still haven't found one yet?
Correct. We have not found one.
No, I understand. All right. So then my question is, how much time do you need? Not how much time do you want, but how much do you need?
That's on that. Now that you talk to my supervisor, Tiffany, she can answer that question.
All right, Tiffany, he threw you under the bus this time.
That's right. It's okay. So intake is searching. They haven't gotten any response yet and any interest yet. We will keep following up. I don't know exactly how much time they will need. I know this week obviously has slowed things down with placement.
So I need a number.
I
mean, how long you been a supervisor? Or how long you been with in OCOK or DFBS?
I've been with for 8 years, but I've only had no cases like 3 times.
Right. Okay. So 8 years experience. You've been doing this for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me how much time you kind of know what's going on. How much time do you need?
I would say if we could get like a week and a half, 2 weeks would probably be sufficient.
You really think you need 2 weeks?
How
much you want, how much you need?
I mean, I think if we tell intake less than that, we'll have to figure out how to make it work. I don't know how much time they need.
Okay. So what I will do, because I'm not sure I really buy into the need 2 weeks, but I'll give you the 2 weeks. And so we will set this at the 10-day hearing. But what I need is I need an answer. Like I need an answer of yes or no that you found a place or haven't. But I also need, if you haven't, I need to know what efforts y'all have made. Okay. And I will be willing to give you more time if the department is trying their best and it seems like reasonable efforts are being made. I'll give you more. I'm not going to say just take them unless y'all can't document what you've actually done. Then I'll say if you're not doing your part, then we're not going to hold them. Is that fair?
That's absolutely fair. We will make sure we have that at the next detention.
Okay. And there are times with some children, it's gone on for a couple months because the unique needs, behavioral needs of the child. So, but it's going to be I want a level of accountability to have the uncomfortable conversation in case, your people don't do what they're supposed to do. Well, then, you need to explain that or follow the sword. Okay. But as long as y'all are doing what I feel like y'all are doing what you're supposed to do, then, we need to work together between juvenile justice and child welfare law.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So, Rodrian, decisions were made. You're free to make a choice. You're just not free to choose the consequence. All right. So if things went over the top as far as the destructive behavior, if the way I'm looking at it, if you're going to make decisions like this at Millwood, then it really limits the kind of places that I can release you to. And this is honestly, juvenile detention is for kids that are violent and destructive. And so that's the side of you that I saw. I think you are a danger to yourself and to others if I was to release you. So I'm detaining you. You'll have a hearing in 10 days. At that point, hopefully we'll get a report from CPS on where they can place you. If not, you may get detained longer. If there is, then we'll find a way to get you there. All right. Please do not take out on our JPD, our detention staff. There's no situation so bad that you can't make it worse. And I promise you on this one, you can make things a lot worse. Okay. All right. Thank you. Daquan.
Yes, sir.
All right, Daquan. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Your attorney appointed today is going to be Tracy Keenan, but I don't think Tracy's here. Ms. Herrick, if you can step in.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Daquan, you were here. All right, Ms. Castillo, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about this robbery, interstate compact. Was it ours? No, we're supervising for Taylor County.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, it's interim supervision. Are we going to be referring it back? Or have
Yes.
you decided?
Well, if I could give a little background, Your Honor. An hour prior to this offense occurring, I had had a conversation with Mom and Daquan, and Mom had indicated things just weren't working out here, and indicated that she was going to send him back to live with the paternal grandmother. An hour later, he comes in on this offense. So she has indicated, the mother has indicated that her daughter does not wish to pursue any charges on him. And she's asked that he be permitted to return back to Abilene.
Okay, all right.
Mother was on Zoom prior to the court starting. She indicated she had some phone issues, tried to switch out the phone, and is locked in the waiting room, I believe, probably.
Okay, yeah, there is an interrupt out there. Well, I mean, technically she's late, but I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind as we go. Let me see what's going on here. Yesterday, Fort Worth PD brought you in, dispatched at home, older sister said that you've been bothering her since the day before. Sister said you continue to call her a bitch throughout the day, threatened to assault her while walking up close to her. She warned you that if you tried to punch her, she would pepper spray you. Then she said you walked up to her, balled up your fist, raised your hand to her punch, and before you were able to hit her, she pepper sprayed you. Then you hit her multiple times in the face. Then she says she sat on the floor with legs tucked in, covering her face, and you continued to hit her in the back of the head. There are 2 witnesses that pulled you from your sister. So the intention is to transfer the supervision back to Taylor County?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she tell you when she was going to move? I saw in your report that they were going to be there that day.
Actually, Mom had indicated the uncle was going to pick him up on either this Friday or Saturday, depending upon the weather again.
All right, so this is where I'm going to go with this one. So victim services never gave me a report for today. I understand it's like weird, we won't be doing Zoom again for a while, but hopefully. If you can ask Tom and victim services if they can reach out to the victim, if she can come in and sign the ANP, then I'm okay releasing him to go back to Taylor County. But if the victim is concerned about this, I'm not sure we should release back to Taylor County quite yet.
Okay.
Okay. So, but that's assuming, the uncle picks up and you can verify that they want to go back to Abilene. All right. But the ANP is going to be pretty important to me because at least, Ms. Herrick, I think you can agree. If we actually get an ANP in hand, that really kind of sets the tone of what the DA is going to do.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So Daquan, I am going to hold you for now. All right. But there is a plan to get you out of here. Please don't make this worse. You can actually lose points and drop your behavior level, and that changes my perspective on things. It makes me believe that I can't really release you. But if your behavior level is fine, you're not dropping any points, and everything else falls in place, then it's time to release you and get you back to Abilene. Okay?
Do you know when that will happen?
When you get back to Abilene, or when I sign the order, or when they get the come in to sign the affidavit?
When I'll be released?
I'm waiting on the affidavit, and that depends on your sister coming up here, and that depends on us reaching out or JPD reaching out to your sister and explaining what's going on. Okay.
Your Honor, victims is here.
Hello, Mr. Zabak.
So
when can you get an
wanted us to
ANP from her?
contact the victim in the present offense? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, on the present offense, the sister. If there's an ANP from her, I'm comfortable releasing him back to Taylor County.
Okay, so if she's, you're saying if she doesn't want to prosecute that?
Correct.
Okay,
Because the note I have is that she does not want to prosecute. If she's going to sign to that, then I think it's probably appropriate to release him back to Taylor County.
okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll look into that.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Tom, if you need an affidavit, like template, just let me know.
We've got them, Lisa. Thank you, though.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right, Jasmine.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're on the home stretch. Jasmine, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I decide whether to keep you here to release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, we'll provide one for you. Mr. Houston has been appointed your attorney, Dwayne. I don't think I saw.
Hello,
this.
Judge.
Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Okay, so Jasmine, you've never been here before.
Yes,
We have a parent here.
Your Honor, I spoke with him this morning. He was not going to be available today, but as the report enumerates, planning on, if the court, unless the court has objections, to allowing him to come pick up as soon as the weather allows him to drive from Dallas County.
All right, so yesterday, 8:20 in the morning, Arlington Police dispatched a disturbance. Complainant said son had someone over who's not supposed to be there. When he got there, she said she got home from her night shift. Her son had you sleeping over without permission. When police got there, you and he had left the residence. They followed the footprints in the snow or sleet. Their homeowners said they saw a girl walking in just a t-shirt, so she had to come inside due to the freezing temperatures. They took to you, identify yourself as Leah White, to the substation to contact the parent. After talking to Leah's mother, they've realized you lied about the name. Mom gave up your right name. You're supposed to live in Dallas County with your dad. But because the road conditions wasn't comfortable picking you up,
And Your Honor, she has a couple of runaways as far as history in Dallas County, but nothing currently pending or as well as not on supervision.
all right, Leah. I said Leah, Jasmine. How far? So who's David? Are you covering this one?
Yes, sir.
So is that the street that the house that she was found in originally? Is that the same street or a different street?
Different street. I didn't Google
I
map
guess
it.
walking distance.
I'm surely assuming it was.
Okay. All right, so Jasmine, I'm signing your release, but I'm also putting conditions on this. When your dad picks you up, you're gonna have an honest conversation with him about whose house you're at, how long you were there, how many times you've gone there, what his phone number is. All the information that he wants about this, you've got to be honest with your dad and your mom. If they call us and tell us that you're not forthcoming with this information, that you're hiding information, that you don't want to be a snitch or whatever, then I'm just gonna bring you back here. Okay?
Yes,
This
sir.
is you. It looks like you made a poor decision. You got caught. Now you got to make it right. The way you make it right is not hiding things. The way you make it right is being honest with your parents, because you know what, 16-year-old girls, when they're caught, they need to be honest with their parents. Okay. I'm also setting an order that you are not to go within 1,000 feet of the house on. So I'm assuming that boy's house is within 1,000 feet of there. I will remove that restriction if your parent calls us and says they give permission for you to be at that address or in that area. But until they call us and tell us you cannot be around that area, if you are, that will violate terms of your release, and I will bring back here to Kimbo. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You have to understand, Jasmine, I'm tough, but I'm fair. Like, I'm gonna lay out exactly what I expect from you. It's not gonna be unreasonable. If you do it, you and I will never have problems. We'll probably never see each other again. But if you say you don't care about what I'm saying, well, then I've got to be all judgy. Okay?
Yes, sir. I understand.
All right. Thank you, Jasmine. Ricardo.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ricardo, I'm Judge Kim. This is the detention hearing. When a kid's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. You have to decide whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you, you will see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to be silent. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, we will provide one for you. Mr. Adler.
Hello, Judge.
Hello. So you had deferred, well, 2021, you had some kind of predisposition supervision for assault, family violence. Who is the victim of that one, George?
His mother.
Mother. Okay. May of 22, deferred prosecution for assault, family violence. Who was the victim of that one?
His mother.
Mother. All right. So now yesterday, 10 o'clock, Fort Worth PD went to a domestic, talked with your mother and your sister. You were upset about something, broke the TV, went to your room. When mother went to discipline you, pushed mom into the wall, putting a hole in the drywall, caused pain to her shoulder. She is pregnant. Do we have the mother here?
Yes, Judge. Last name Vargas.
Vargas. Okay. Does she speak English?
I don't believe so, Judge. I can translate as needed.
Okay. All right. So the question for her is going to be, is dad around at all?
Judge, I can answer that for you. Dad is not around. I believe he lives in another state.
Okay. All right. So then my next question is there a place where Ricardo can live that's not in her home?
Señora Vargas, si te puedes quitar de mudo, por favor. So that's going to take yourself off mute. El juez quería preguntarle a usted si hay otro lugar donde le puede salir Ricardo en vez de tu casa.
No,
¿No hay familia o alguien conocido que usted conoce bien?
pues su papá.
Okay, pero él vive en otro estado.
No, vive aquí.
Oh, okay. Well, Judge, so just correction, Dad does live in the area, but there's no extra family members or friends that she's comfortable with to release him to.
Okay. And she doesn't live with dad, correct?
No.
All right. So if you can ask her, where is he getting the marijuana from?
Mamá, el juez quiere saber si sabes dónde está agarrando el marihuana Ricardo.
No.
You ask her why he's not going to school.
¿Sabes por qué no va a la escuela, Ricardo?
No, nada más dice que no quiere ir.
Just simply that Ricardo doesn't want to go.
Okay. Well, Ricardo, I'm keeping you here evidently because, well, I'm keeping you here because you won't quit smoking weed, you won't go to school, and allegedly you won't keep hitting your mom. So at this point, there's not supervision in your home because you're not accepting your mom's supervision, and I feel like you're a danger to your mother. If later on, I'll look at what your behavior is like here. If you're doing well here, I'll consider releasing you to your dad, but I'm not comfortable releasing you back to your mother anytime soon. All right, so we will see you in 10 days. Thank you. All right, so these proceedings have been broadcast to the public to comply with Article 1, Section 13 of the Texas Constitution, also known as the Open Courts Act. However, Texas Family Code 54.08 states that when a child is under 14 years of age, that the court is required to close the proceedings to the public unless the court finds it is in the best interest of the child or the best interest of the public to make the proceedings open. Unable to make such a finding, I am now going to close these proceedings. So only officer of the court can be in Zoom.